A common theme you will find in people who have learned through adversity is that they believe in giving back to their communities.
I want to give back to this public and society what they gave me. And subsequently, with my involvement with Recovery Network, I've become a board member, advisory board, and in that respect, I can give back to what has been given to me.
Because I want to come back to the Recovery Center as an occupational therapist and work here. I've already set this plan out for myself. But it's giving back to what they gave me, and I feel like that's a good way in giving back. And also in recovery, there's a point that you want to give back.
I feel it gives me a real good feeling inside to help others, because I was once at a point where I needed help and reached out and asked for help and got that help. So if I can do that for somebody else, then, you know, my day is complete.
I want to go to school and get an education in something in the criminal justice system. I love the criminal justice system, and I'm looking into doing that. I'm checking out some schools now. It's just a beautiful world. It's just a beautiful world right now, and I look forward for other good things to happen to me, because I know that they can happen to me, for me. But like I said, I take responsibility in doing what I can to make myself even feel better.
Strengths-based. Recovery focuses on valuing and building on multiple capacities, resiliencies, talents, coping abilities, and inherent worth of individuals.
I would say the biggest thing that helped me, this was several years ago, is I made a decision to be proactive in my treatment. I switched doctors, I got a therapist, and worked with a doctor and therapist to get stable on my medications. And I would say that's helped me the most at first. A few other things that have helped me is, even before I knew the word recovery, I was doing things like building a support network of supportive family members and friends. That was something that I saw that I needed in myself. And when Mary Ellen Copeland, I believe her name is, came out with a lot of her publications, they really spoke to me. And I did the Wellness Recovery Action Plan notebook and things like that. So I've been real self-involved in recovery for probably close to 10 years before we had a name for it.
The Wellness Recovery Action Plan, WRAP, is a structured system for monitoring uncomfortable and distressing symptoms, and through planned responses, reducing, modifying, or eliminating those symptoms.
So I would encourage anyone, I mean, like, hey, when we think that we're getting better, don't just stop taking your medications and continue going to your doctor appointments, continue going to your groups. I try to take one day at a time because I realize that I didn't get this way overnight, and I know that my problems are not going to be solved overnight. Try to keep some type of hope in our life.
Hope. Hope is the catalyst of the recovery process.
We desperately need more money for quality mental health care services, because without parity insurance coverage, if you're not poor when you become mentally ill, you will be before it's over with. I don't care how well off you are, you will be poor. Just dealing with the illness and the aspects of how it destroys your life. People will say pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and the problem is you don't have any boots.
Some of our greatest artists have been people with mental illness. Today, creating art has proven to be therapeutic for many. Meditation and art are just a few of the holistic approaches to recovery.
And painting is one of those ways that I've learned to deal with depression. And I can tell what state of depression I'm in by the colors I choose on a palette. If I'm squirting out a lot of marine blues and grays and charcoals and blacks and dark purples, I'm in the downswing of my depression. If I choose a lot of bright colors from a palette, like orange and red, and those bright, brilliant colors, then I know I'm on the upswing out of depression. So I think to each his own, but that's my non-clinical, non-scientific way of dealing with depression.
Self-direction. The recovery process must be self-directed by the individual who defines his or her own life goals and designs a unique path toward those goals.
Well, I want to become a professional graphic designer. I want to create some huge paintings. I'm not real huge, but I want to get into a art exhibition. So I want to pursue that, and I just want to live life to the fullest, and to my full potential, the way it should be. And I feel great about myself. And I thank Recovery Network, Mental Health in Northern Kentucky for all their help. But without them, I wouldn't be here today.
What's been great for me by being here, now I understand the things that I've been doing to my body, the drinking. I understand the effect what it's been doing to me.
I had alcohol as an addition to my mental illness problem, and that put a whole different stigma to me, because people look at alcoholics and drug addicts as less than human sometimes, and I think they don't understand that these are people who are just trying to survive through everyday life. And fortunately, I was able to get help with that problem and with my mental health issues. And my job every day gives me a reason to get up in the morning.
In a report that came out in 2006 from the Association of Commissioners, known as NASPD, National Association of State Mental Health Program Directors, that report says those of us served by the public mental health system are dying on an average 25 years prematurely. What do you do? I mean, how can you practice psychiatry and not address that we may be dying on an average 25 years prematurely?
In the surgeon's report, it is stated that stigmatization of people with mental disorders has persisted throughout history. Stigma deters the people from seeking the treatment that they need and deserve. In its most overt and egregious form, stigma is outright discrimination and abuse.
Stigma is not a strong enough word. I begin to say that it's really more discrimination. I mean, if you look at the national statistics, we're the most unemployed of any disability group in the country. People with mental illness are at 85% unemployment. And unfortunately, it's often the mental health professionals themselves that are among the greatest perpetuators of stigma. I think part of that is they were trained in a medical model that is only involved with symptom reduction.